Not quick and easy at all. This is a bitch. This is a real big bitch. What's going on YouTube? We are back at Miller Speed Co. If you guys have been following the Lowrider S build for a while, it's been the basics so far, but we're finally digging into some more advanced stuff now. So we got the bike all stripped down. We're gonna do a whole new setup, new fairing, new brakes, all kinds of stuff. So stick around and we're gonna get right to the build. Let's go. All right guys, so we got all our parts nice and laid out here. As you guys can see, we've got some new rotors, new calipers, and all the trimmings to put on a new FXRT fairing from Dominator. The bike's all naked right now. We're ready to start actually getting some stuff together, and yeah, we're gonna get rocking and rolling. Alrighty y'all, so as you can see, got the new rotors on. They're looking real good. The stock calipers are back on because we're gonna go ahead and bleed the brake lines now so that we can get the new calipers going. But that's our next step.
Dude, these things are handy, man.
I can't hear you because you turned your mic off.
Oh, shit.
Shit!
Damn it! Gosh darn it! Shit! Shoot!
What were you saying was really handy?
Oh, these nice caliper holders also hold your brake bleeder too.
How big of a fan are you of crash bars?
Big fan.
Big
crash
fan.
bar guy.
Clearly, really likes them. Oh, new crash bars on the back, by the way. So while we wait for the brakes to be bled here, we're dealing with adding all the Cali raised lighting harnesses. We're trying to figure out a way to just tuck them into the neck here to get all these big blocks out of the way, but working on that. That's running all the way down through the neck, down to the battery. So that'll be plugged in there. That's for the LP6 when we get to that, but trying to just, you know, two birds, one stone it as we go here.
Sturgis style, dude.
Sturgis style. Progressing right along here. So we put the tank back on because we wanted to put the bracket on for the Dominator fairing. So solid piece, looking good so far, and we'll update accordingly as we get the next step going.
One eternity later.
Alrighty, y'all. So it is very late at night. It's like
1:51 a.m.
Yeah. So for anyone thinking like I did that, you know, this would be a somewhat quick and easy job, Bryce,
Not quick and easy.
Not quick and easy at all. This is a bitch. This is a real big bitch. So give yourself plenty of time to get stuff like this done. 2 people is kind of a must, but we're gonna come back in the morning because Bryce is just the man and we're gonna finish up. So, you know, we'll check in the morning. All right, bye-bye for now. Okay, so here we are back we're calling this day 2, but this is definitely not day 2. As you guys can probably tell, I'm in a brand new room in the shop here. This didn't even exist last time that I was here. Bryce is over there already putting in the work. Oh my God, so the last time we were in here filming, we got done with everything. It was an absolutely massive pain in the ass, but Bryce, what are we doing now?
Okay, so now we installed these really fancy Brembo radial mounted calipers.
Look at that.
So now we're going to match those calipers up with a nice radial mounted brake master cylinder.
Yup.
And we are also, to adapt that style master cylinder and that style brake light switch, we're going to be installing a new brake light switch and talking about basically how this operates and why we had to get this special one to make it work on your Harley-Davidson.
So the deal with the master cylinder, guys, a lot of the time when people delete their master cylinder, or not delete it, but change for one of these kinds, your brake light stops working. And the reason your brake light stops working is because Harley brake lights operate the opposite of most motorcycles in the world, where most of the time, what is it? It's with normal motorcycles, the brake switch is pushed in the whole time that you're using the brakes. So on a Harley, it's the opposite. When you push the brake, it activates the switch, which is not the usual way things work. So we're gonna get into like actually doing all of this, and then we'll explain kind of more how it works. So let's do that.
Okay, so now we're getting to it. So basically we're gonna start with wiring in this brake light switch. Now, this bike being a CAN bus system, which basically means it uses one wire for multiple functions, the CAN bus high wire has power going to it all the time. So we are going to actually have to cut out this old brake light switch and solder in the new one. Now, the biggest thing that you guys need to know, you cannot solder any wires on a CAN bus system bike with it being attached to the bike in any way, shape, or form. Basically what would happen is when you go to solder onto that wire, that live wire, it actually fries the BCM. Now, to replace a BCM and an ECM, it's about 1,200 bucks. So you do not want to make that mistake. Your bike will not start, it will not run. So make sure before you do anything electrical on a CAN bus system bike, unplug it from the motorcycle. So I've unplugged it from the actual harness, so that way this is the wire right here, which is still in the handlebars, but it's not plugged into the bike. So now that we've done that, we're now gonna cut this switch off and we're gonna start soldering in our new one.
This is why I let him do this shit, is because I would never know that and I would just fuck up my bike, so.
Right.
This is why we bring in the master. He did it, he did the thing.
Ow. There's no going back now.
All right, guys, so I figure while Bryce is getting all that worked in, I will show you the update on what we did since last time. So we got these awesome rotors here from Lyndall. A little bit of use so far. They've been on a Sturgis trip and back, and you know, still looking good, still looking nice and gold. Got the Brembo calipers there, the GP suspension kit we've got in there, the 2-over suspension kit. I literally think that might be the best upgrade I've made to the bike. It just handles night and day difference. I'm gonna give you guys a full review on that one later though, so stay tuned for that. And of course, the big bitch that this thing was. This is the FXRT Fairing from Dominator. It's all carbon fiber. It looks great, but I have never dealt with a bigger pain in the ass of putting anything on my motorcycle, bar none. We got the full Baja Light system in there too, the LP6 with the S1 turn signals. Bryce did a great job getting all that wired up, but man, I mean, we were here working on this thing for what, 2 days straight, and that's why I couldn't get any of it filmed. I mean, we were here from what, it was 6 p.m. to
3 a.m.
3 in the morning, and then the second day was 10 a.m. to midnight.
Midnight or 1, something like that.
Oh my God. It was, yeah, guys.
Remember, it was gonna be easy.
It was a nightmare, okay? Bryce is never gonna stop giving me shit for this because I said, oh, we'll just come in and we'll get it done, no problem. If all 3 of us are working on it, it's gonna take no time at all. I'm sorry, it was a nightmare. So no, I will definitely not be doing a tutorial on how we put this thing on because now that it's on, it is staying there, but it looks great. So that's what really counts, right? And got the Clockworks fairing or windshield on there too, which looks really nice. So anyway, we're gonna get back to what we're actually doing right now. Here we go. Look at this, another Speedco, putting in the work.
Trying.
So while this is all open, you guys can see some of the connectors in there. That's what that looks like. This is actually fascinating to me because I've never seen the inside of a brake housing before. That's kind of cool. This is the wiring harness from Kurvey Girl as well. Basically operates just on 2 separate wires. We'll get more in depth on it, but that's the progress.
In our testing portion of the install, obviously I left these wires really long and just did quick crimp connectors just to test it. So basically how the switch works is once we install it into the master cylinder here, this is going to snap into these holes, and then in order for us to actually install it, we have to compress this switch to tuck it behind that brake lever. Then when you apply the brake, it will pull that out, which will release that switch, then turning on the brake light. So like I said, when this is pushed in, the light should be off. Once you actually compress that brake lever, it should open the switch and the brake light should turn on. So it looks like we got it right on the first try.
Not to brag or anything, you know?
Not too much, yeah. But now that we know that the orientation of our wires is correct, we're actually gonna take all this back off, unplug it from the bike again, and actually hardwire these in with solder and shrink tube in the correct way, so.
That's perfect. You have all the toys. Look at this little holder. Dude.
It holds the wires, makes it real easy.
Work smarter, not harder. So now we're gonna mock up where the actual master cylinder itself is gonna go, and then we're gonna work on doing the reservoir. That's what we're doing. It's getting there, getting there. All right, so we have the actual lever on the bars, and now we are building the reservoir. It's like adult Legos. So you've got this little arm that attaches to the actual reservoir itself. That's going to screw into this top bolt right there, and that's how it's gonna actually attach to the bike. I'm gonna give you a little hose for it. So we got the reservoir built. We're trying to get it all mocked up right now. The only problem we're running into is that mounting bracket puts it way up there.
Functionality, good. Looks, horrible.
Horrible, I know. All right, guys, so we got it done. Look at that thing. Looks all racy and shit. That reservoir is mounted at kind of a weird angle right now, but we're gonna work with that. Actually, I'm gonna come around here. We got some pretty cool little mounts for the mirrors right now too. They mount in the front, it's different, but might end up changing that. Might end up just kind of like reworking it a little bit, we'll see. And then actually, while we were over here working, I put on this one finger clutch lever as well. And so I'm probably gonna do a separate video running you guys through the install on that one. I'm gonna run it for a little while and see how I feel about it. Right now it was mostly just so I could get matching levers on both sides and not have a gold lever on one side and a black lever on the other. But Bryce, what do you think? How'd it turn out?
I like it. Once we get the right reservoir, man, it's gonna be super nice. But as far as the master cylinder and the big thing to me was that brake light switch.
Yeah.
Sweet.
No, absolutely, I agree. Getting that brake switch, you know, wired up correctly so that it was actually gonna work the right way was really big for me, because as cool as it is to have like race bike stuff, it's also cool to, you know, have some safety and actually have a brake light that works. But who needs brakes anyway? Why are we even doing this? We should just take the brakes off.
I have one of these on my bike.
All right, guys, well, that's gonna do it for us. This was a long one, just with the part one pre-Sturgis, and then now, oh my God, this has been a process, but I'm gonna take you guys through a full review video later on all of this stuff. We'll take you through all my thoughts on all the upgrades that we've made. I hope you guys have enjoyed seeing some more major modifications to the bike, and you know, like, comment, subscribe, all the good YouTube stuff, and I will see you in the next one. Later.